They call him all day, but they have no idea how long his days have been. They call him Diesel, but they don't know just how strong he's had to be. They call him Purple Jesus. But Adrian Peterson isn't interested in being anyone's savior.
Handoff Adrian Peterson, and there we go! Handoff Adrian, and he's loose! Adrian Peterson is gone!
What kind of player do you want to be remembered as?
The greatest player to ever play the game.
Not the greatest running back.
No. The greatest player.
At 24 years old in his third NFL season, the 6'1" Peterson has been to 2 Pro Bowls, holds the NFL's single-game rushing record with 296 yards, and last season won the league's rushing title, credentials that helped lure a future Hall of Famer out of retirement.
No disrespect to anyone I played with. He's by far the best running back that I've ever seen. I was always a huge Walter Payton fan. Adrian has it all.
He's gifted, and running backs have to be gifted. He's fast, he's quick, he's strong, he's smart. He has acceleration, and he's always trying to escape. I just love everything about him.
Peterson is the #1 player in the multi-billion-dollar fantasy football industry, and the face and body that magazines want on their covers. Yet behind Peterson's physique, he is keeping one surprising secret.
This is the real Adrian Peterson story. Not the magazine, the glossy, the muscle and fitness. This is Pringles. This is cookies.
Yeah,
Twinkies.
And then, you gotta come over here too, though. This is something that's more healthy.
Yeah, sure.
I can eat a lot of junk food if I go out and I work hard and I'm sweating it off.
Peterson was physically gifted from the beginning. His mother, Benita Jackson, was a track star at the University of Houston. His father, Nelson Peterson, was a basketball star at Idaho State.
I used to take him and hang him on a doorway and just leave him on the doorway and tell him just to hold on, don't let go. I'll walk through the house, come back 2 minutes, he'd still be holding on.
Adrian split his time between his mother and father, who never married but remained friendly. It was here, on these Palestine, Texas fields, that his father taught Adrian football, instilling the physical style he's now known for at age 6.
I took him to a football field with his pads on. I had another kid with his pads on. And I had Adrian just stand there with the football in his hand and tuck his chin and had the kid just run at him for about 5 yards back and just leveled him and made him get up and do it again. After he leveled Adrian about 3 times, the next time I said, we're gonna meet force with force.
At the time, Adrian's best friend was his half-brother Brian, who was 11 months older.
Me and my brother, we was like this, did everything together. I used to just beat him up. I used to fight him because I could never beat him running.
They were like 2 peas in a pod. They rode bicycles together, they played football together, they ran track together. I mean, everything they did together.
In 1993, when Brian was 9 and Adrian was 8, what started as a regular day playing outside their apartment building suddenly changed.
They was riding their bikes, like they always did, did before, up and down. And I just remember, playing football with the guys, and it was like, I don't know, it happened so fast.
Brian had been struck by a drunk driver. Adrian was just a few feet away.
His head slammed and hit, and his head's like immediately swole up. And I remember running over to him, falling down on my knees, and picking him up by his head. I was calling his name, Brian, and calling his name repeatedly. He wasn't responding at all.
It's like, a part of you there, and it's gone. So it was like a whirlwind for us.
Brian spent a week in a coma before the family made the agonizing decision to discontinue life support. The drunk driver was convicted of manslaughter.
I ponder about, what if Brian was here, what would you do? Something as simple as me coming out after practice and running sprints. And I might not be filling up to running sprints. There's little times like that when I can hear him talking to me.
It was football that helped Adrian recover from Brian's death. Over the next few years, he emerged as a star with the help of his father, who often coached him. But in 1998, when Adrian was 13, that changed.
I remember Mom coming into the room. She came in, closed the door, and just broke the news to me.
His daddy had been arrested, and that was another blow for him, It's like everything happening, in life to this little young kid.
Adrian's father pled guilty to laundering drug money and was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison in Texarkana, 4 hours away from his son.
Losing my dad, it was tough. I was already struggling with, losing my brother. That was a hard time for me.
5 years later, by his senior year, Adrian was the #1 ranked high school player in the country.
How do you follow his football career from prison?
Articles. I would call people on the telephone, and they would be at the football games.
What was that like, sitting there on the other end of the phone?
Goosebumps. It's goosebumps on your arm, this wishing that you was there.
Adrian went on to star at Oklahoma. As a freshman in 2004, he finished second in the Heisman voting. And when Adrian was a junior, his father, after serving 8 years in prison, was released and finally able to attend one of Adrian's games.
I'm able to look back, and see him now. It's just that warm feeling, just that good feeling that, man, hey, that is my pops watching me, let's go to work.
In the fourth quarter that day, Adrian broke away for a 53-yard touchdown run. It was a triumphant moment for father and son. But Adrian broke his collarbone on that play and missed 7 games. As he prepared for the 2007 NFL Combine a few months later, Adrian worried scouts would think he was injury-prone. Then, days before the Combine, he received an encouraging call from his 19-year-old stepbrother, Chris.
He was pumped up, excited for me, because the opportunity was finally here, telling me good luck, represent for, back home here in Palestine, do your thing.
The night before the Combine, he went to bed focused on football.
About 2 o'clock, I just woke up and just had this feeling like something was wrong.
4 hours later, Adrian received the news.
It was like Chris got shot last night, in Houston, Texas.
His stepbrother had been carjacked, shot, and killed. Adrian decided to go through with the Combine and ran a 4.3840, the second fastest among all running backs.
Just going through that made me strong.
Makes you appreciate a lot in life, little things that, a lot of people look over. So I try to stay joyful and, keep a smile on my face at all times.
With 3 years left on his $40 million rookie contract, Peterson is the top non-quarterback endorser in the NFL. He has lucrative deals with companies such as Vitamin Water and Nike. Peterson's house is also brimming with family. Peterson has 13 half-siblings with whom he says he's close with. He's not married, but has 2 children of his own. And although they live over 1,000 miles away in Texas with their mothers, he tries to stay close.
My daughter, she's 4, and she got her own computer now. Got her own computer, so I got it hooked up as far as I can chat with my daughter online. She can see me, I can see her, and we work it out that way.
No matter what they call him, Purple Jesus, Diesel, all day. Every day, Adrian Peterson is focusing on his football future while channeling his personal past.
He seems to be A+ in my mind. I'm looking at him as a runner, a striker of the ball, one of the best that I have seen, and one that I truly love.
Barring injury, based on the way Adrian works, this guy could be phenomenal for a long time.
I didn't want to, go down the path of be that guy that had all this talent but wasted, and then you have excuses why. Well, my dad wasn't part of my life, or my brother, he's gone, and I didn't want to use that as an excuse. Instead, I used it as motivation.